Yeah. Some of your real DNA into it. Six fingers? That's why he can play so well. He put something, just in case. So normally he's okay. Aha!
Hey, you better not. I don't want to give you a contaminated specimen.
Contaminated by iron.
Thanks. You never know where those swabs have been.
I want to show you something.
No.
Come on, this way.
So stupid.
What did I tell you?
You're all gonna give blood. You're gonna have to find a way to replace that.
God damn!
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta practice some more?
Let me
Yeah, it's alright, it's alright.
Luckily, it looks as though we have a nose.
When you need
Okay.
more, you can always get it off his shoes. It's fine. You work so hard, you do everything you can to get away from the place. And when you finally get your chance to leave,
You want to stay now?
no reason to stay.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. I am your detective for the evening. Please don't leave the premises.
Uh-oh.
What's one of that?
Oh, yeah, hang on just a minute.
Don't call him by his name in front of that guy!
Don't touch your face. Don't swallow. Don't spit. Let's clean his teeth.
Ah! You're gonna take things on it.
Vincent!
Do you understand?
Who's Vincent?
Discovering you're not really you. She still wants to kiss you. That's a proof that she loves you for who you are, not for your plate.
He's one of our best. I'm certain he has nothing to do with this business.
You don't look well, Jerome. Why don't you go home?
She's telling you.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for Jerome Morrow.
I'm sorry, he's ill, a little nausea. It's quite common before mission.
I ought to pay him a visit. I understand you can show me the way. Adam? I'm here to see Jerome Morrow. Yes, it's me. Come on. Hello, sweetheart. Where's my kiss?
You want to use her to hide that, but also like that, you know? I'm not okay with it. It's gonna be okay, we know it. He's the real one. Are we sure of that?
Yes. You have it? I'll come right away.
Huh?
How are you, Jerome? What about you, bro? How the hell did you get up here? Oh, I can always walk. I've been faking it.
Oh really? You're not acting really good, guys? Like you're so arrogant right there, like you want her on your side?
Don't touch me.
Listen to me.
I don't even know who you are.
I'm the same person I was yesterday.
My name is Vincent. Right? Vincent Anton Freeman, an unfaith bird or a degenerate, whatever you want to call it. But I am not a murderer.
But we do have one thing in common. Only I don't have 20 or 30 years left in line. Mine is already 10,000 beats overdue.
Really? The guy just played at being so cold and now I want you. I don't hate him, don't get me wrong. And the story, the movie is amazing.
Congratulations.
But that relationship, I'm not okay with it anymore. She deserves better.
Found in the dead director's eye. So the invalid had nothing to do with this? No.
So he really didn't kill anyone.
Everything to do with it. I think she likes us.
Ah!
Yeah, sure, just give her a little bit of time, she'll get used to the idea.
Really? Oh, really? I don't want you with the girl.
You know what he said, they have their minds over. No, that's not over. I have to meet her.
Why?
Vincent? My God, you have changed.
I knew it!
Has it been so long you don't recognize your own brother? Your parents both died thinking they outlived you.
They
What
died?
are you doing here, Anton? I should ask you that question. I committed no murder. You must be disappointed.
You both knew since the beginning who was the other one.
Have any idea what it took to get in here?
You've gone as far as you can go. You
Come with me now. There's still a few million miles left to go. In case you haven't noticed, I don't need any rescuing. But you did once.
I'll prove it to you.
You want me to prove it to you? I'll prove it to you!
Thanks.
No, it's not about his dream anymore, it's about his ego now. Against his brother. And now it's not to prove a point, you know, to the society, it's to be the best. You're really Jerome. You know that thing about being the best. It has to be the thing of your life.
Where's the shore? Too far out. You want to quit? We're too far out! You want to quit? No!
Guys.
We have to go back. Let's do it for them. We're close to the other side. What other side? You want to join us both? This is how I did it, Anton. I never saved anything for the swim back.
If you're still interested,
Ah,
let me know.
the real you?
Sorry. When
She's too nice for you.
Everything you need to last you 2 lifetimes. So Jerome will always be here when you need him. Where are you going?
So you're gonna survive. You're not through him, but you're gonna kill yourself.
I don't know how to thank you. I got the better of the deal. I only lent you my body. You lent me your dream. What is this? New policy. Well, there's a problem, Lamar. I never did tell you about my son, did I? He's a big fan of yours. Just remember that I was as good as any. And better than most. He wants to apply here. Unfortunately, my son's not all that they promised.
Is invalid.
And who knows what he could do. Right?
You know Lamar? Since how long, you know?
Future reference? right-handed men don't hold it with their left. It's just one of those things. You don't miss your flight, Vincent.
Say thank you to the guy. No? Just because of how you pee. I knew it that he would kill himself. You're gonna burn yourself. I knew it. You accept to be the second? No. You did it. Is it everything that you wanted?
Of course, they say every atom in our bodies is once part of a star. Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm going home.
You're going back to the Twilight Zone. I'm sorry, I know that it was the end, but you know that scene at the end with the stars and all, you know it, I'm reacting to some episodes of the Twilight Zone, so really I thought about it directly, and the fact that this movie was like that, I thought about it even more, I had to say it. That was a good movie, for sure. The story was really great. You know, this universe and all, it was not at all what I expected. You know, before deciding to react to this movie, it's one of you who offered me to react to 2 movies and I selected this one. I did not watch the trailer, I just read the synopsis of it, and no matter what, you know, I knew that I never watched it, and between Pleasantville, that I already watched, and this one, which is so popular, you know, I just knew that I would go for this one, and I just read the synopsis of it, and the synopsis, it's really, at least on Wikipedia, it was something like, in this world, people can choose, you know, their babies, they can modify stuff into the DNA and all, and someone has to live with that. You know, it was something really mysterious around it, but for me, this movie was about that, you know, about selecting your baby. Like, I really thought that the movie would be something else. I really don't think that it would be like that, about that. That the story would be also about that, you know, about following that guy, Vincent, and all of what he did, because he was not one of these babies, and he had to do all of that to follow his dream. That was such a surprise, but a good one. And this universe is so well done, you know, so well built, with so many details into it. I'm wondering if it's based on a book or not. I'm gonna search that. Because, you know, for one universe to be so well built, you know, with everything being logical, the fact that they thought about really everything, they anticipated all of the rules of this universe, it's really great, you know, it's really not based on a book. It doesn't seem so. I'm sorry, I took my pearl off because that's it. We began this movie with the storm outside and now it's so sunny, I think that you can see it. It's beginning to be hot. Yes, that's not based on a book and still it's so well written and all this universe is so well defined. It's really, really great, and for sure to follow one guy, you know, who is not one of these valid person, and to see all of what he has to do to accomplish his dream, that was really interesting. But I see so many more stuff, you know, in fact, into it. For sure, that story is interesting, that investigation about discovering who, you know, committed that murder. Because of that, we're stressed for Vincent, and all of that, you know, that was good, that was interesting. But since the beginning, we know that he didn't commit that murder, and since the beginning, I had that suspicion that the detective was his brother. So, in a way, I knew that the guy's investigation was continuing, so at some point we would have these two confronting each other, that we would come back to that relationship between brothers, which is in fact one of the main narrative arcs of this movie. But yes, for me this movie, okay, it's a sci-fi movie, like really the definition of it almost, with stuff about space, with stuff about another society, you know, it's a dystopia, I think you say in English. And you know, everything about anticipating how stuff are gonna be, if really we're playing with DNA, scientific stuff, and all, really it's a sci-fi movie. But for me, all of this sci-fi stuff are used for this universe to make a story, but the movie is not really about the story, it's more about psychological things, subjects, aspects of these characters, and it's really deep, you know, like all of that thing, for example, with the real Jerome, with Eugene, all of that thing about being the one who was supposed to be the best, and the fact that he was only the second, that was already a frustration. And you can imagine also that his parents were not glad, proud of him, so he was not proud of him, he was frustrated. That's why maybe he tried to kill himself, he didn't succeed, that was another failure. He's forced to be into that seat, you know, that wheelchair for the rest of his life. That's awful, he considers that he doesn't have a life anymore, it's okay to sacrifice his life, to give his life to someone else. All of the things, you know, already around the purpose of this character are so deep. And after that, the fact that he's okay to be the second, you know, he's accepting to be the second by taking back, you know, that silver medal, by taking it with him. He's accepting to be the second, and he's accepting to give his life fully. He made everything right, and he's killing himself. Like the first time he killed himself because he was frustrated to not be the best, to not be the first, and now he's okay to be the second, and he's killing himself, but it's not like he wants to kill himself, like he's sacrificing himself. Like really, just that around him, around the real Jerome, around Eugene, it's already so huge, you know, the psychology behind this character, it's amazing. For sure, the relationship with the brother, you know, if I have to talk about the brother, about Anton, it's a little the same, you know, he was supposed to be the best, he was the chosen one, you can see that the dad, you know, is really more proud of him than is, you know, about Vincent and what he's doing. All of that thing about how to swim, that chicken game, that was really something, you know, when they were kids, and what Vincent said about the fact that his brother didn't have any excuse to fail. And it's when Vincent decided, you know, to not let these excuses stop him, that for once he won. And after that, you know, what he said at the end, he continued all along just because he didn't think about going back, he was just not stopping. And yes, I was saying all of that relationship with the brother, you have also to consider the situation of the brother, the fact that he's so... his other brother, who is supposed to be weaker, in fact, being stronger than him, is supposed to be the best. And in fact, at the end, you can see that his brother is the best, because his brother managed to be at that place, to lie about it, but also to keep it, because he's smarter, because he was recognized for his knowledge, for how smart he is, and the fact that he didn't stop, he continued, he fought, you know, for his dreams. And you know, when him, Anton, is a cop, and at some point, you know, one of the guys said that being a cop, being a detective like Anton, it's not a good place, you know, it's not a place for the elite people. So Anton, who is supposed to be the best, in fact, is not at a good place. He didn't succeed into his investigation, and you can see that his brother is better than him, is smarter than him, is stronger than him after that during another chicken game. Like, also the psychology behind the brother is really deep. This relationship with his brother, it's so deep. So see, I just talked about two secondary characters, you know, the main character for sure it's Vincent, and for sure his psychology is even, I was gonna say worse than that, deeper than that. The first half of the movie, almost all of the first half of the movie, it's to go back, you know, to who he is truly, how he ended right there, to do all of that with the blood, with the things. Like, it's an explanation about, okay, why the situation right now is like that. And during all of this first half of the season, in a way, we are ruling, you know, for him, because we know that he didn't commit that murder, he's seeing it, because we can see that he had that dream and everyone was trying to block him only because of his blood and not because of his real abilities, that everything about this system, you know, is so unfair. Like, through all of these things we can judge also, and we can have discussions about a system like that in which everything is defined, you know, by your blood. First, you can determine who is gonna be your kid. You can determine everything about your kid. That's already a big society subject, you know, and a big discussion that we can have. But there is also all of that thing about determining someone, you know, by his or her blood, all of the future of someone at the minute, you know, that this someone is born. That's big. And the fact that after that, because you're determining, and after that, because you're determining that, you know, when they are born, you are putting these persons into boxes and you're not letting them the chance to get out of it. You're just keeping them, you know, into these boxes, and they have no chance. In fact, like, it's big society subjects, it's big debates, and discovering all of that, and discovering that he's really clever, and that he has this dream, and that everyone is blocking him, even his family, all of the system, everything. We want to root for him, you know, we want him to succeed, and okay, right there, he's manipulating people, he's lying, it's a fraud, everything, but into something which is unfair, you're okay, you know, for the character to lie, to manipulate people. But the second part of the movie, for me, we are going also on the dark side of Vincent because of some angry moments, you know, that I didn't appreciate. For sure, he's continuing to lie, to manipulate, to hide himself. All of that moment, you know, with beating that police guy. I understand the logic behind it and all, even if I think that it was a little stupid. But I can understand all of that, and I felt sad for him, I felt bad for him all along the movie, no matter what. But at some moments I was more like, are you really doing that for the right reasons? You know, at first it was really to follow your dream, to fight the system. And at some point it became because of your ego, because you want to prove that you're the best, and in fact it's beginning to become really like Jerome and Anton, people who are supposed to be the best and who want to be the best and who want to prove to everyone that they are the best. Do you understand my logic right there? At first you just wanted to have your dream and to prove that you're good enough, and at the end it's more like, I want to prove that I'm the best to the society, to everyone, to your brother. Already I had some issues with his relationship with Irene. At the beginning, not at all, you know, I found them sweet. All of these things, you know, about giving your hair, that's a question of trust for sure into a world like that, so it's cool. Little things at the beginning, you know, were cool with them. The fact that she accepted him even if she knew that he was lying, that she was okay with that. They spent the night together. After that, when she noticed, you know, she knew that he was into a bad situation, she warned him, and because of that they managed, you know, to hide who he was truly, and she kissed the real Jerome, all of that, like she really covered him. Irene, for me, she was perfect during that relationship, but I'm not sure that I can say the same about Vincent, because how he reacted, you know, when Irene discovered the truth at the two Jeromes at the same place, it didn't please me at all how they acted, these two. That was so arrogant, that was so cold, you know, and the girl is just discovering the truth. She's shocked, she's sad, she's feeling betrayed. She was just forced to kiss someone that she doesn't like, and you're acting like, hey, see, that moment I hated it. And the fact that just after that he ran after her, like really playing cold and warm, like manipulative, toxic guy, really, that's one of the first rules of toxic guys, you know, to manipulate you by being really cold and after that really warm, being so arrogant, so proud of yourself in front of your friends, and when you really want the girl to be that warm, you know, to be so full of big words and all. So really that moment gave me that kind of vibes, and you know, since that moment I was like, Vincent, you're a good guy, even if you're complicated and it's deeper than I thought. Irene, you're the perfect girl, but the two of you together, no, I don't want it. And after that, when he came back to say something like, oh, she's gonna get used to it, but really, can you consider the feelings of that woman? And the fact that you can't manipulate her and she needs time, and maybe not, you know, maybe no, she's not gonna fall into your arms, like that's enough. It made me mad. So really I was against that relationship at the end. Even if I can see that she loves you and she was just nice and perfect, you know, into that relationship, but you lying to her, manipulating her, using her, talking bad to her, for after that talking really nice, for after that bragging about what she's gonna do because you think so, asking her to wait for you, you know, like he was almost asking that, like it was a manipulation to ask her to wait for him. Like for me, at the end, you know, seeing that relationship with other eyes, I'm really like, the toxic guy, like really he checked all of the rules of the toxic guy into a relationship. But again, I'm saying that like I'm against that relationship, but I'm not against the characters, and I don't hate Vincent, not at all, and I really appreciated everything about his character, even if, like I just explained, he's deeper than just a guy following his dreams. Like so many things are way deeper than that with his character. His relationship with his parents, his relationship with his brother, his relationship, you know, with the society, his relationship with Irene, him, his reasons to follow this dream at the beginning, how it evolved, what he can do to have this dream. Really, at the end, I'm glad that he's going, you know, into space. I'm glad for him. He has what he wanted since the beginning. The fact that the doctor guessed it since so long, you know, what was happening, because of how he was being. That thing, you know, about his son not being so perfect, so he can understand what Vincent is doing right there. That was a good thing, you know, at the end to put, to just, you know, take a look. Like, we were so much with Vincent, like, we were stressing for him. Is he gonna succeed with this investigation, with Irene, his relationship with Jerome? Like, is he gonna succeed? Really, we were so stressed for him until the end, that last test, all of that. So to have that doctor saying that, it's really like to take the camera almost like that and to be like, okay, right now we're focused on Jerome, his dream, what he did, all of that, but he's not the only one. The son of this doctor is gonna have the same life, and maybe not, maybe he's not gonna have this chance. but maybe also he's gonna be forced to lie, to manipulate, you know? That was a good thing to put it at the end. Yes, I'm glad that you got your stars. But you know what's happening after, you know, the credits right there? If you are thinking about what is gonna truly happen, like, I'm pretty sure that he's gonna have other tests in space. So okay, you know, like, he gave you some of his hair that can be useful, but is it gonna be enough for 1 year? And after that, when you're gonna come back on the ground, you're gonna have to lie, to continue to do all of that, you know, to fake all of that, all of the day of your life, which is not really gonna be your life, without anyone from your family, with maybe Irene, but I'm not sure that I want that, in fact, for her at least. It's not a life neither, you know, to live like that. That movie was great, but see, for sure this universe, the rules of this universe, all of that, this system, the thing modifying, you know, DNA, but also what can it mean, you know, determining the future of a newborn just like that, putting that newborn into a box just like that, not letting the chance to anyone, because of that, the impact that it's gonna have on the psychology of everyone. That's interesting, but for me, what was even more interesting, it's really how deep they went with the psychology of each character. Oh, it was cool. I really appreciated it. I hope that you appreciated that video, you know, to discover that movie with me, or maybe to rediscover it with me, and maybe also to just have my point of view on that kind of things, you know. Maybe the first time that you watched it, you were just focused on the story, and with me, who loves to talk about, you know, that kind of stuff, you know, analyzing characters and all, you saw also now that aspect. But yes, that was cool. I loved it. Thank you to the one of you who subscribed to the movie level and asked me to react to it. To choose the movie that I'm gonna react to, you have to come on my Patreon, and the first Wednesday of the month at 10 AM, subscribe to that movie level. It's only one of you guys who can subscribe to it. Maybe it's gonna be you this month. I mean, next month. You had me. Okay, so it's all for you and for me for today. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine?
Great.